Beloved chosen one, first and foremost, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude to all of you who have supported through Super Thanks. Your generosity truly warms my heart, and whether or not you choose to donate, I'm beyond thankful for your presence, your energy, and your unwavering support. You are an integral part of this journey, and together we are creating something extraordinary. Now, let's dive into today's message. The streets are buzzing with positive gossip about you, and your success is making waves everywhere. It's undeniable. The same people who doubted you can't stand hearing about your rise. Your name is being praised, while theirs is barely a whisper in comparison. The tables have completely turned, haven't they? The facade they tried to put on is unraveling, and they're becoming the joke they once tried to make you. Meanwhile, your reputation is soaring higher and higher, and their attempts to diminish your shine only make your light that much brighter. The gossip surrounding you is just beginning. The universe is aligning to bring your greatness into full view, and the winds of destiny are whispering your name through every corner of existence. Do you feel that energy, chosen ones? That electric pulse running through the atmosphere? That's your transformation, spreading outward, touching lives, disrupting the comfortable, and awakening the dormant. The world is starting to take notice, and your name is falling from their lips like thunder. This isn't random. This isn't a coincidence. This is earned. This is destiny recognizing its rightful owner. If you're ready to claim the full power of your transformation and continue to rise, I invite you to drop a 777 in the comments below. Let's embrace this incredible energy and create a future that's unstoppable. This is just the beginning, and together we're going to make waves that echo through eternity. God's chosen ones, they're losing it. So many are speaking well of you. Now the jokes are on them. Chosen one, do you remember those dark nights when doubt wrapped itself around your throat like a suffocating serpent? Those moments when each tear felt like a chasm carved deep into your soul, threatening to swallow you whole? In those times, they were there, weren't they? Watching from the sidelines, smirking, betting against you, and placing their wagers on your downfall. They invested in your failure, counting on your surrender, as if your resilience was something they could extinguish. But look at you now. How has the tide turned? But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Isaiah 40:31. You have soared like an eagle, chosen one, while they watched in disbelief. The very mouths that once spilled doubt and despair are now forced to praise you. Can you feel the weight of that? The same eyes that once dismissed you with a roll are now wide with astonishment. What must they be thinking now, chosen ones, as they witness your unwavering strength? Their hearts, once hardened and unyielding, are now aching with the bitter pain of missed opportunity. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. Those who doubted you are now witnessing the triumph that God has brought from your brokenness. The people who once held positions of trust, even claiming to be your closest confidant, are now obsessed with tracking your every move. How strange is it that they refresh your profiles with trembling fingers, desperately seeking any glimpse of your life. They interrogate mutual connections, hoping for a morsel of information. All the while, their minds become a shrine to the glory they failed to see in you before. Your resilience, chosen ones, has become nothing short of legendary. Your success has transformed into something mythological, spoken of in awe, reverence, and even envy. Your confidence has become the gold standard by which others measure their worth. Have you ever thought about how it feels, knowing that while they continue to watch, powerless to stop you, your life has turned into a revolution they cannot comprehend? For the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught. Proverbs 3:26. Your steps are guided, chosen ones, and no force can halt the rise of your greatness. Stars themselves appear to rearrange, spelling out your triumphs in the cosmos. Galaxies seem to collide in celebration of your journey, as if the universe itself honors your rise. The very fabric of time bends in recognition of the magnitude of your comeback. Can you grasp that? The brutal truth is undeniable. Those who once mocked you, who whispered behind cupped hands, are now telling tales of your greatness. But their voices, full of regret and awe, cannot hide the sting of their earlier disbelief. In the end, the cosmic irony burns them as if acid rain fell upon their exposed skin, each drop reminding them of the monumental mistake they made when they underestimated you. This echoes the story of Joseph in the Bible. His brothers betrayed him, mocking him, thinking they could silence his dreams. Yet, as the years passed, they were forced to recognize his rise to power in Egypt. What does that tell us, chosen ones? Sometimes the very people who bring us down are the ones who will one day have to witness our ascent. In Psalm 23, verse 5, it is written, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." Your enemies are now watching your table of victory being set, and they have no choice but to recognize the power you carry. Think of the story of Abraham Lincoln, a man who faced immense opposition, doubt, and scorn from many quarters. Yet, in the end, it was his strength of character and perseverance that led him to change the course of history. The same critics who doubted him were forced to acknowledge his greatness, just as those who mocked you now cannot help but see your shine. And consider the rise of Elon Musk, who faced ridicule when he first pursued his ambitious goals. People laughed, even doubted his sanity. Yet today, his innovations have revolutionized the world, and those who once scorned him are now asking for his insights. It's a testament, chosen ones, that even when others doubt, you have the power to rewrite the narrative. Chosen one, did you hear about them? The question echoes through coffee shops, where your name is now dropped like a precious gem, catching the light of everyone's attention. Have you seen what they've accomplished? That inquiry reverberates through social gatherings, where your absence is felt like a phantom limb, present in spirit but powerful in your absence. Can you believe how far they've come? The wonder spreads through professional circles, where your methods are studied with the reverence reserved for sacred texts. Each syllable of praise, chosen ones, is a dagger to their ego. Each mention of your name strikes at the foundation of their pride. Each story of your success becomes a wildfire, consuming the fragile house of cards they carefully built, based on the assumption that you would fail. Have you ever noticed how quickly they scramble to change the subject? They attempt to redirect conversations as if they could outrun the truth, but no matter how hard they try, they can't escape it. The truth follows them, unrelenting, like their own shadow, reminding them that your rise is undeniable. The universe, it seems, has a wicked sense of humor, doesn't it? It's as if the cosmic scales have tipped dramatically in your favor, and the weight of your vindication presses down on them, crushing their false certainty beneath its magnificent heft. They try to plug their ears, but your praise slips through their fingers like water, uncontrollable and unstoppable. They attempt to shield their eyes, but the brilliance of your ascension blinds them with its undeniable light. They struggle to numb their hearts, but the sting of regret cuts through every defense they've put up. The gossip about you, chosen ones, has transformed into a raging river, unstoppable and all-consuming. It carries with it the weight of vindication, flowing with the power of justice finally served. It roars with the thunder of destiny fulfilled. It's almost as if the universe has made its decision and no one can change its course. Think back to those who thought they had you figured out. They categorized you, labeled you, and shelved you away in their minds. They created a cage of low expectations, decorated it with their smug certainty that you would never break free. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. While they built their cage of limitations, God was busy unfolding a future for you that they could never have imagined. They'll always struggle, they said, with unearned authority. They'll never amount to much, they predicted, casting their false prophecies like a net to entangle your spirit. They're just not built for greatness, they declared with poisonous finality, hoping that their words would shape your destiny. But in the words of Romans 8:31, what then shall we say in response to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? You were never meant to be trapped by their limitations. You were chosen for more, and your rise is a testament to the strength that comes from within. This mirrors the story of King David, who was underestimated by everyone around him, even his own family. They thought of him as the least likely to succeed, but God saw in him a king. But the Lord said to Samuel, "Do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him." The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. Chosen ones, your heart was always the key to your greatness. Think of the rise of Walt Disney, who was once told he lacked creativity and vision. He was fired from his first job at a newspaper for not having enough imagination. Imagine the irony now, as his name is synonymous with creativity and innovation. Do you ever wonder how it must feel to be in their shoes, watching the very person they dismissed rise to become a global icon? And then there's the story of Michael Jordan, who was cut from his high school basketball team. Yet his relentless determination turned him into one of the greatest basketball players in history. What does that tell us? Chosen ones. It's a reminder that those who once doubted you, once counted you out, will now have to stand in awe of what they failed to see in you. The weight of their disbelief cannot compare to the greatness that is unfolding in your life. Chosen one, fools, absolute fools. While they were busy constructing narratives about your limitations, you were quietly forging weapons from your pain. Each challenge, every heartache, became the raw material from which you crafted the strength that now radiates from within you. While they were comfortable in their assumptions, resting in the idea that you would never rise, you were transforming in the crucible of adversity, sharpening yourself against the very obstacles they thought would break you. While they slept on your potential, thinking you would remain dormant, you were wide awake, awakening to your power and purpose. The Lord gives strength to his people. The Lord blesses his people with peace. Psalm 29:11. You've been blessed with strength, chosen one, and it's a strength they couldn't even begin to fathom. Now, the audacity of their shock is almost comical. Can you see it? The embarrassment they must feel in realizing how wrong they were about you. The humiliation of their flawed judgment weighs on them, doesn't it? Your life has become a living, breathing rebuke to every doubt they ever expressed. For the foolishness of God is wiser than human wisdom, and the weakness of God is stronger than human strength. 1 Corinthians 1:25. Your existence, chosen ones, is now a walking contradiction to every limitation they tried to impose upon you. Every negative prophecy they spoke over your future has been completely overturned. Your success stands as an undeniable refutation of every word they spoke in disbelief. You are living proof that their assumptions were wrong, that their predictions were false, and that your power is something far greater than they ever imagined. The tables haven't just turned, they've been flipped over, shattered, and rebuilt in your image. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. Psalm 118, verse 22. Just like that stone, once discarded, you have become the foundation of your own success. The script hasn't just been rewritten, it's been torn to shreds, burned to ash, and replaced with a masterpiece of your own creation. Chosen ones, do you feel the weight of this? Do you understand the magnitude of what's happening? Those who once laughed behind your back now stand in stunned silence before the undeniable proof of your achievements. The same people who once gossiped about your failures are now choking on the evidence of your victories. For the Lord your God will bless you as he has promised. Deuteronomy 15:4. And here you are, a living testament to those promises, blessed beyond measure. Think about the story of Job, who endured ridicule, loss, and betrayal. Yet in the end, God restored him beyond what he had before. His story became a living proof of resilience and divine vindication. Isn't that what your life is now, chosen ones? Your comeback is your testimony, your proof that nothing can stand against you when God is on your side. Consider the rise of Oprah Winfrey, who faced rejection and adversity early in her career. She was told she was unfit for television and too emotional. Yet today, she stands as one of the most powerful and influential women in the world. Her story echoes yours, chosen ones. A reminder that the limitations others place on you are irrelevant in the face of your destiny. And then there's the story of Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before he successfully invented the light bulb. Many considered him a failure, but he never allowed their judgments to define him. His persistence changed the world. What does that teach us, chosen ones? Your journey is not defined by others' perceptions, and your victories will rewrite the story they tried to tell about you. Chosen one, have you ever stopped to wonder how far you've come? You've ascended to a place beyond their comprehension, beyond what they could ever imagine. They could never have foreseen your rise, could they? You've expanded beyond their narrow view of who you were meant to be. You've exploded out of the small, confining box they tried so desperately to trap you in. Each step you take forward drives a stake through their hearts. Each milestone you pass twists the knife of regret deeper into their souls. How does it feel to know that every achievement you claim only adds to their disbelief? The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Psalm 27:1. Chosen ones, they feared your power, and now they are left with nothing but the ashes of their own doubts. You've broken free from every chain they thought would hold you down. They assumed you would be confined forever, didn't they? But you've soared beyond every ceiling they were certain would limit your ascent. Now, they're forced to watch you claim what they thought was forever out of reach. What once was a struggle has blossomed into season after season of reward. What once felt like hardship has transformed into harvest after harvest of abundance. How many times did they doubt you, chosen ones, believing that your dreams were impossible? I will restore to you the years that the locusts have eaten. Joel 2:25. Your restoration is not just a return to what was lost. It's a transformation beyond their wildest expectations. Now, everywhere they turn, they see the undeniable proof of your transformation. It stares back at them from screens, calls to them in conversations, and confronts them in moments of quiet reflection. Can they deny it any longer? Can they ignore the magnitude of what they once dismissed? They tried to push you aside, tried to silence your potential, but here you are, standing taller than ever. And it isn't just success that haunts them. It's the realization that they missed out on something extraordinary. It's the knowledge that they walked away from a force of nature, a being destined for greatness. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. Psalm 24:1. Your greatness has always been part of the divine plan, chosen ones, and now they are left to witness it unfold. What do they feel when they realize they failed to recognize the diamond forming under pressure right before their eyes? How do they reconcile their earlier judgments with the person you have become? Your rise has exposed their blindness, and now they must face the truth. Your potential was never something to be underestimated. Do they see now what they refused to see then? Look at the story of Maya Angelou, who overcame tremendous odds to become one of the most influential voices in literature. Her story wasn't defined by the hardships others expected her to succumb to. Instead, she transformed her pain into a voice that resonated with millions. She had every reason to stay silent, yet she spoke loudly with her words and lived boldly with her actions. Does that not echo your journey, chosen ones? There was never a time you were meant to stay down. Consider the story of Thomas Edison, who was told by his teachers that he was too stupid to learn anything. He was mocked and rejected, yet his relentless pursuit of innovation led to the invention of the light bulb, forever changing the world. How many people once doubted you, chose to believe in their own limited vision of you instead of the vision God had for you? You, like Edison, were always destined for greatness, no matter how many times others tried to write you off. Your transformation, chosen ones, is undeniable, and now they must contend with the weight of their own misconceptions. What will they say now that you've proven them wrong? Will they admit their mistake, or will they continue to wrestle with the reality of what they failed to see? Your journey is your proof, your testimony, and it's undeniable. The question is, how will you continue to rise, knowing that every step you take only amplifies the truth of who you are and what you've become? Chosen one, do you feel the exquisite precision of the torture they are enduring now? The agony they experience is perfect in its justice, isn't it? It's a divine retribution, a karmic balance that couldn't be more fitting. Every time they lie awake at night, replaying the memories of how they treated you, can you hear the universe whispering brutal truths in their ears? You were wrong, you were blind, you were foolish, and now they must watch, helpless, as you rise higher than they ever expected. Every step you take forward is a reminder of how far they've fallen in their own misjudgment. Can you imagine the torment they must feel, realizing that you are soaring without them leaving them in the dust of their own poor choices? The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Psalm 27:1. They believed they could extinguish your light, but it is shining brighter than ever. Their denial has only amplified your brilliance. The cosmic retribution is merciless in its execution. Do you see it? The universe doesn't spare them. It delivers justice with such flawless precision. They thought they could evade the consequences, but the truth follows them like an unrelenting shadow. Every misstep they made, every moment of cruelty they inflicted upon you, is now being exposed. Universal justice is flawless in its delivery, and they have no choice but to watch as it unfolds. The spiritual comeuppance is absolute in its verdict. How does it feel knowing that every action they took against you is now the very thing that haunts them? For the Lord will judge his people. Hebrews 10:30. The people who once held the power to dismiss you now must face the truth. They were the ones in the wrong. Their own circle, the very people whose approval they craved, are now turning questioning eyes upon them. Can you hear the whispers behind their backs? How could you let that go? That question lingers in the air like smoke after a fire, choking them with its implication. The weight of it is unbearable, isn't it? They can no longer escape the truth that they underestimated you. And then there's the question, what were you thinking? It lands like a slap across their face, each word striking harder than they ever imagined. They can no longer defend their actions, no matter how they try to justify their decisions. How do you think they feel when the sting of public judgment becomes undeniable? Did you not see what was right in front of you? That incredulity echoes like thunder in a canyon, amplifying their humiliation. The walls they built to protect themselves from the truth are crumbling, and they can't stop it. Now, the laughter that was once directed at you has found a new direction, hasn't it? It now rolls toward them, crashing in waves, mocking them in ways they never expected. Their own ego, once so proudly held, is now being shattered with every echo of that laughter. Can you feel the shift? It's no longer your reputation that is under attack, it's theirs. The mockery they once hurled at you now becomes the destructive force tearing apart their confidence. It erodes their sense of self with relentless persistence. For whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Matthew 23:12. They thought they held the upper hand. They were so sure they were the prize, the ones everyone should admire. But now, where do they stand? How does it feel to see the tables turn so drastically? Now they are exposed. They stand as the fool in the cosmic play, the one who was blind to the greatness in front of them. The crown of ridicule, once placed upon your head, now weighs upon theirs. Can they even carry it? Do you think they understand what it means to wear that crown? It's heavy, isn't it? Those same whispers follow them through hallways. The snickers trail them through social gatherings, and the side glances hunt them through professional spaces. There is no escape from the consequences of their underestimation. For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked leads to destruction. Psalm 1 verse 6. They tried to build their world on your failure, but it was never meant to last. Now they must watch as the world turns in your favor. They used to gather in corners, didn't they? Used to huddle in groups to tear you down, to diminish your worth, to predict your failure. They believed they had control over your future. But now, those same voices gather to express disbelief at their short-sightedness. The same groups now huddle together, not to laugh at you, but to marvel at their colossal misjudgment. Can you imagine the sting of that realization for them? How does it feel to know that they are the ones now laughing at their spectacular error? Their own words, once aimed at you, are now the source of their shame. The embarrassment is public, chosen ones. The humiliation is communal. Do you feel the weight of that? Every congratulation you receive, every success you claim, shines a spotlight on their poor judgment. It's as if the universe is amplifying your victories just to remind them of their failures. Those who are last will be first, and those who are first will be last. Matthew 20:16. Your rise has made their mistakes impossible to ignore, and now the whole world knows the truth. Think about the story of Nelson Mandela, who spent years in prison, mocked and rejected by many. Those who once dismissed him were forced to recognize his greatness when he became president of South Africa. His triumph became the ultimate rebuke to all who doubted him. Does that not echo your own journey, chosen ones? Your success will one day be the very thing that forces those who underestimated you to confront their mistakes. Consider the rise of Rosa Parks, who, by refusing to give up her seat on a bus, became a symbol of the civil rights movement. Many once dismissed her as just another tired woman, but her refusal to be silenced became the spark that ignited change. Her courage became a mirror to those who had failed to see her worth. How does it feel to know that your own rise will soon become a symbol, a shining example of resilience? And then think about the incredible journey of J.K. Rowling, who was rejected by multiple publishers before she found success with Harry Potter. They thought her ideas were childish, unworthy of attention, but now her name is synonymous with success. How many people doubted you, chose to overlook your potential? Yet, just like Rowling, you have proven that the world cannot ignore your brilliance forever. Chosen one, have you ever truly taken a moment to reflect on how the cosmic audience is watching your story unfold? They are witnessing your rise with gleeful justice, knowing full well that every step you take is a reminder of the reckoning those who doubted you must now face. As you soar, the universe applauds the divine balance that is slowly being restored. For the Lord sees the heart, and he will reward accordingly. 1 Samuel 16:7. Your strength, your success, and your undeniable power are being seen for what they are, the rightful reward of your unwavering faith and perseverance. Can you feel the weight of divine justice in the air, knowing that those who sought to diminish you are now being held accountable for their actions? Now, they finally see the truth that has always been there. Chosen ones, how long did they dismiss you? How many times did they turn their backs on you, blind to your potential, ignoring the treasure that was right in front of them? And now, after everything, they see it. They finally recognize the value they carelessly discarded, the immense worth they foolishly abandoned. But, chosen ones, the revelation comes far too late to change their fate, doesn't it? Can you imagine how it must feel for them, realizing that they squandered the opportunity to align themselves with your greatness? Their minds are now trapped in a prison of regret, endlessly replaying the what-ifs, each thought a relentless reminder of their own shortcomings. I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life. Deuteronomy 30:19. They had the chance to recognize your worth, to honor your journey, and they failed. Now, all they have left is the endless cycle of regret. How do you think it must feel for them to live in this constant torture? Every time they replay their mistakes in their minds, it must feel like a weight pressing down on their hearts. Their thoughts have become a torture chamber of endless what-ifs. And the worst part is, there is no escape. They are trapped in an imagination that offers no release, only cruel alternate realities they can never inhabit. The visions they once dismissed of you achieving greatness now mock them. They dream of rewriting history, of going back and making different choices. But the past cannot be undone, can it? The past is gone, and the future is not yet here. But today, the Lord is with us. Isaiah 41:10. They cannot change what has already been written, and no matter how many times they wish they could, it's too late. The past is locked in time, and all that's left for them is the bitter truth of their own actions. They dream of running away with you, don't they? They fantasize about escaping the judgment of those who now see them for who they truly are. What would it feel like for them to undo their mistake and stand beside you, sharing in your success? They long for a second chance, but no amount of wishing can turn back the clock. Their desperation consumes them like wildfire through dry brush, quickly spreading, consuming everything in its path. Each new thought of regret adds fuel to the fire. How long will they continue to live in this fantasy world, chosen ones? How much longer will they dream of a reality that is forever out of reach? The flames of their regret are relentless. They cannot escape the consequences of their actions. And the most painful part, they can't even escape the truth of their failure. Every moment you rise is a constant reminder that they were the ones who chose to overlook your potential, to discard you when they should have stood by your side. The weight of that realization must be crushing, don't you think? Look at the story of Rosa Parks. She wasn't the first to sit in the front of the bus, but she was the one who made history. Those who thought they could suppress her spirit were forced to watch as she became a symbol of freedom and resistance. She was told her act was meaningless, but she became the catalyst for a movement that changed the world. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Galatians 6:7. Just like Parks, you, chosen ones, are rewriting the story that others tried to write for you, and those who doubted you will be forced to face their own mistake. Think about Maya Angelou. She faced rejection, marginalization, and mockery throughout her career. But did she let that stop her? Number. She turned her pain into poetry, and her words became a force that changed lives. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. Just as Angelo faced the world's dismissal, so too have you faced rejection, yet you stand here today as a testament to the power of resilience. Those who once ignored you must now reckon with your brilliance, just as they had to with Angelo's. So, chosen ones, can you feel the weight of their regret? Can you sense the desperation growing within them as they realize they can never undo their mistakes? The truth has been set before them, but it's too late. They will have to live with the consequences of their choices, and there's no escaping the consequences of underestimating you. The Lord will make a way where there seems to be no way. Isaiah 43:19. Your rise is the path that they cannot follow, and as you continue to soar, they must stand in the shadow of their own failure. How will they ever reconcile with the reality they now face? Chosen one, have you ever taken a moment to really think about how the ones who once dismissed your worth are feeling now? The very people who gaslighted your concerns, minimizing your ambitions, must now look at you in disbelief. How does it feel knowing that those who couldn't see the fire inside you now wish they had listened, truly listened, to what you were saying all along? The same souls who mocked your dreams, telling you they were impossible or unrealistic, now yearn to have supported your vision instead of belittling it. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1. Can you feel the weight of this truth, knowing that your light, once dimmed in their eyes, now shines brighter than ever? Now they see the truth that was always there. But what do you think it's like for them to come to this realization so late? They are now recognizing the value they carelessly discarded, the immense treasure they foolishly abandoned when they underestimated you. The plans of the Lord stand firm forever, the purposes of his heart through all generations. Psalm 33:11. It must be a brutal awakening, knowing that their inability to see your potential has cost them the chance to walk beside you, to be part of something greater. The doors that could have led them into your future are now locked, and no matter how much they wish they could go back, that key is gone. How does it feel to know that you've moved beyond them, chosen ones, and now they must live with the consequences of their choices? Can you imagine how their minds must be trapped in a prison of what might have been? Every moment of regret they experience is like a shackle, holding them back from the future they could have had if they had just supported you. Do not call to mind the former things or ponder things of the past. Isaiah 43:18. The past is gone, and they cannot change it. Their thoughts, now tortured by the fantasies of what could have been, are unable to escape the harsh reality that they missed the opportunity to join you on this incredible journey. They continue to fantasize about rewriting history, imagining themselves as part of your rise. But it's too late. The future they once thought they would share with you is now beyond their reach. While they are stuck in the what-ifs, you, chosen ones, are living in the what is. You have broken free from the prison of regret and embraced the freedom of forward motion. I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. Philippians 3:14. Their past holds them captive while you are moving forward, leaving them behind with each step you take. Can you feel the freedom, the unshakable confidence that comes with knowing your future is yours to shape? While they drown in the quicksand of their regrets, you soar like an eagle, lifted by your success, with new opportunities at every turn. You are breathing in the rich air of new horizons, while they suffocate in the vacuum of missed chances. Do you think they ever reflect on how they failed to invest in your vision, how they ignored your potential when it was right in front of them. They never believed in you, did they? They never took the time to nurture your dreams. And now, that magnificent future you've built doesn't have a place for them. There is no room for those who dismissed you when you needed them most. The Lord has made everything for its purpose. Proverbs 16:4. Your purpose, chosen ones, has always been divinely ordained, and no one who failed to see it will be able to walk with you into the future you are creating. They thought your path would always be difficult, didn't they? They assumed your road would forever be rocky, that the journey you were on would be one of constant struggle. They expected that you would always be climbing uphill, barely keeping your head above water. But where are they now, as you stand tall in the glorious heights they could never have imagined? For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. They never saw the heights you would reach, chosen ones. Their vision was too limited, their expectations too small. They could never have conceived the immense glory that you would one day claim. They never anticipated the empire you would build, did they? They didn't see that your resilience would give birth to something far beyond their comprehension. While they were stuck in their own narrow view of who you were and what you could achieve, you were already stepping into your greatness. And now, as you stand on the threshold of everything you've worked for, they must watch as you rise higher and higher, with no way to undo their past mistakes. How does that feel, chosen ones, knowing that your greatness is now undeniable and that their inability to recognize it has led them to this place of regret? Look at the story of Steve Jobs, who was famously ousted from the company he founded, only to return and change the world with his vision. Those who thought they could replace him, those who believed his ideas were impractical, were forced to reckon with his brilliance when he transformed Apple into a global icon. How must it have felt for them to see his rise after they dismissed him? The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. Psalm 118 verse 22. Just like Jobs, you are the cornerstone of your own success, and those who rejected you are now facing the weight of their mistake. Consider the journey of Rosa Parks, who was told by many that her actions wouldn't make a difference. She was dismissed, but her courage sparked a movement that changed history. How did those who doubted her feel when they saw the impact of her simple act of defiance? Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Galatians 6:7. Your journey, chosen ones, is no different. Those who underestimated you will one day be forced to confront the power of your rise. Now, that same future they doubted, that they mocked and ridiculed, is the paradise they long to enter. The path they sneered at, the journey they thought was beneath them, is the road they now wish they could travel. But can they even get on that road? The cosmic bouncer stands at the velvet rope, checking the list, and their name is nowhere to be found. The Lord has made everything for its purpose. Proverbs 16:4. The gatekeeper of opportunity stands firm, knowing they missed their chance. Their failure to see your worth has locked them out, and they have no access to the glorious future that awaits you. The spiritual guardian, standing at the threshold of your success, evaluates their worthiness, and they come up short. You've moved far beyond their reach, haven't you? While they languish in the quicksand of regret, you're too busy conquering new realms to glance back. While they are chained to the anchor of what might have been, you're focused on creating what will be. I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. Philippians 3:14. You're building your empire, making strides toward your destiny, and your eyes are firmly fixed on the future. The weight of their what-ifs doesn't even touch you. They're stuck in the past, while you're embracing a future they can only watch from afar. Your future is expanding like a universe in perpetual creation. Can you feel the boundless potential, chosen one? It unfolds like a flower with infinite petals, each day revealing a new level of greatness. Your destiny ascends like an eagle, riding the thermal currents to impossible heights, while they are still stuck on the ground. The path of the righteous is like the first gleam of dawn, shining ever brighter till the full light of day. Proverbs 4:18. Your journey continues to unfold in a way that was unimaginable to those who doubted you, and from their position, stuck in the mud of their consequences, they can only watch as you disappear into the horizon of your becoming. They can only observe as you evolve beyond their limited perceptions. They had no idea who you were becoming, did they? They could only see the obstacles, the struggles, and the doubts. But now, all they see is your success. They watch in awe as you transform into something more magnificent with each passing day. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Ephesians 2:10. You were always destined for greatness, and now they must reckon with the truth they missed. Consider the example of Steve Jobs, who was ousted from the very company he founded. He was pushed out of Apple, the company that bore his vision, and told his ideas were too far-fetched. Yet, when he returned, he transformed Apple into the tech giant it is today. Jobs' critics, those who doubted him, were forced to reckon with the power of his vision, and those who once rejected him were now forced to see him as the visionary he always was. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. Psalm 118, verse 22. Job's story mirrors your own, chosen ones. Those who overlooked your potential will one day have to face the consequences of their mistake. Then there's the story of Malala Yousafzai, who was shot for speaking out about education for girls in Pakistan. At the time, many thought she was just a brave but naive girl. But today, she's an international symbol for girls' education and human rights. Her doubters never imagined she would become the youngest ever Nobel Prize laureate. Just like you, chosen ones, your rise will force those who doubted you to reckon with their inability to see your power and your purpose. Cosmic justice, chosen ones, is absolute. Universal balance is perfect. The spiritual accounting is complete. Those who failed to recognize your worth, those who dismissed your potential, must now watch as you soar to new heights. Your success is the ultimate proof that the universe rewards those who have faith in their own greatness. How long will they continue to drown in their regret while you continue to build the empire they could never envision? Chosen one, understand this cosmic truth. Your journey has transcended personal victory to become legendary. Your story, once a personal tale of overcoming, has now evolved beyond individual success into something mythological. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. Your rise has gone from a private triumph to an archetype that others will look to for inspiration and guidance. Do you feel the magnitude of this shift? Your success is no longer just about you. It has become a universal symbol of perseverance, greatness, and vision. In hushed tones around dinner tables, parents will speak of you with wide eyes, sharing your story with the next generation as an example of strength and vision. The Lord will fulfill His purpose for me. Psalm 138:8. Do you think they ever imagined that your story would be shared like a cherished legend, passed down as a source of inspiration? In living rooms, friends will recount tales of your transformation, using your journey as a testament to the power of resilience. In workplaces, colleagues will reference your remarkable ascension, using your name as a benchmark for excellence. Can you see it, chosen one? Your story has become something much greater than just your own. It is now a part of the collective consciousness, woven into the fabric of cultural understanding. Do you ever wonder what they'll say about those who failed to see your worth? Don't be the one who walks away from greatness, they'll warn their loved ones. Don't be the fool who couldn't recognize a diamond, they'll caution their confidants. Don't be the person who becomes the cautionary tale, they'll advise their associates. Your rise, chosen ones, will be the standard by which others measure their own decisions. Your critics and doubters have become characters in a modern fable, their short-sightedness now part of a narrative about missed opportunity. Your detractors are now figures in a contemporary legend about the cost of failing to see potential when it stands before you. Look at the example of Maya Angelou. She was overlooked, rejected, and underestimated for much of her early life. But today, her works are taught in schools across the world, and her story is revered as one of resilience and brilliance. Those who doubted her, who thought she would never succeed, now serve as cautionary figures in the story of her success. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Ephesians 2:10. Her story is a modern fable of the importance of recognizing value when it's right in front of you. Consider the story of Steve Jobs, who was ousted from Apple, the company he founded. He was rejected by the very people who once believed in him. Yet his return and the subsequent transformation of Apple into the powerhouse it is today are a testimony to the power of perseverance. His critics, those who doubted his vision, are now part of the story that explains the cost of underestimating greatness. The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. Psalm 118, verse 22. Job's journey is now a modern legend about visionaries who never gave up, no matter the setbacks. Your detractors, chosen ones, have now become subjects in a new mythology, one where they embody the consequences of flawed judgment. Their choices have become cautionary tales about the dangers of dismissing greatness when it presents itself. Do not call to mind the former things or ponder things of the past. Isaiah 43:18. The universe has elevated your experiences into sacred teachings that will echo through generations. Your journey, once personal, is now divine, and the lessons learned from it will resonate through the ages. The cosmos itself has transformed your rise into a timeless example of what happens when you trust your vision and persevere through adversity. Those who have witnessed your cosmic tale unfolding will learn in time how to recognize value when it stands before them. They will learn to honor potential when it reveals itself, and to respect greatness when it graces their presence. Do you feel that, chosen ones? You are the example of everything they missed out on, and now they must learn from you. They must live with the knowledge that they failed to see the treasure right in front of them. Meanwhile, those who doubted you have become walking warnings to all who encounter them. They are now living lessons about the price of underestimation. They've become breathing reminders of the cost of dismissing magnificence when it appears. The whispers follow them like persistent shadows. That's the one who had gold in their hands and thought it was dirt. That's the one who stood before a masterpiece and called it worthless. That's the one who was offered divinity and turned it away. Chosen one, have you truly grasped the enormity of your success? It isn't just your victory, it's a universal message inscribed into the fabric of reality. Every step you take, every triumph you claim, sends ripples through the cosmos, becoming a cosmic declaration etched into the very substance of existence. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. Your rise isn't merely an achievement, it's a spiritual proclamation woven into your consciousness, a reminder that you were always destined for greatness. You were always designed for abundance, always created for victory. Does that realization stir something deep within you, knowing that your journey is written in the stars? The truth is, they simply failed to recognize what the universe always knew. They couldn't see that within you burned a star, a force waiting to illuminate worlds. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. Inside you dwelled a power capable of moving mountains, a force destined to transform realities. They could not comprehend the magnitude of your potential. And now, as gossip about your magnificence fills every space they enter, they must confront the truth of their mistake. Can you feel the power of their regret as it stirs in every conversation they now have about you? They had paradise within their grasp, and they let it slip through careless fingers. The whispers will never stop, the admiration will never cease, the recognition will never end, and neither will their regret. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life in Christ Jesus, our Lord. Romans 6:23. The regret they experience is like an eternal flame, burning long after the moment has passed. It is the price they must pay for failing to see the glory that stood before them. Their loss is now permanent, and the cosmic punishment for their failure to recognize your brilliance is an inescapable reality. Can you feel the weight of this, chosen ones, knowing that their failure will follow them as a permanent shadow? There is perfection in the timing of your triumph. Divine timing ensured that your victory came when it was meant to, at the exact moment when its full significance could be understood. The Lord is not slow in keeping his promise, as some understand slowness. Instead, he's patient with you. 2 Peter 3:9. Had your rise come sooner, the lesson would have been incomplete. Had your vindication arrived earlier, the message would have been diluted. The universe waited for precisely this moment, when all eyes could witness your ascent, when all minds could grasp the depth of your success. How does it feel to know that your timing was divinely orchestrated? The world needed to see the greatness you've always known was within you. Your detractors, those who doubted you, required the peak of their arrogance before witnessing your ascension. For the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught. Proverbs 3:26. They needed to reach the summit of their certainty before encountering the undeniable proof of your achievement. And when it came, the shock was devastating, wasn't it? The fall from the highest point of pride is always the most spectacular. The impact from the loftiest peak of certainty is always the most transformative. How does it feel to know that their fall is a result of their own misplaced confidence? The shock they feel is the consequence of their pride. The universe positioned them perfectly for maximum effect. Cosmic scheduling ensured they were placed for optimal impact. Spiritual synchronicity made sure that the consequences of their actions would be felt at precisely the right moment. Can you see it, chosen ones? Your patience, your perseverance, your endurance have been rewarded in ways beyond your comprehension. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9. Your persistence has been celebrated by the universe, and the reward is far greater than you could have ever imagined. What you've created is not temporary, it's eternal. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. Matthew 6:19-20. What you've built is not fleeting, it's everlasting. The impact of your journey, chosen ones, will ripple through eternity. Long after today's gossip fades into tomorrow's legend, the essence of your transformation will continue to reverberate through reality. Long after the current whispers evolve into future myths, the power of your ascension will continue to resonate through consciousness. Does that excite you? Knowing that your legacy is already in the making, that your story will endure long after you've reached the heights of your success. You've altered the very frequency of possibilities around you. Your energy, your vibration, your essence have shifted the fundamental resonance of achievement in your domain. Can you feel it, chosen one? Others who encounter your story will feel a stirring in their spirits. Those who hear about your journey will experience an awakening in their souls. People who learn of your path will undergo a revolution in their hearts. How incredible is that? Your transformation is not just for you. It's for the entire world to witness and learn from. Your triumph has created ripples that will travel outward for generations. Your victory has generated waves that will move forward for decades. Your success has produced currents that will flow onward for centuries. The gossip about you today is merely the first echo of a sound that will reverberate through eternity. The righteous will flourish like a palm tree. They will grow like a cedar of Lebanon. Psalm 92:12. The talk surrounding you now is just the initial ripple of an impact that will expand across infinity. Do you feel the magnitude of that, chosen ones? While they fixate on the immediate sting of their miscalculation, they remain blind to the cosmic significance of what has transpired. While they focus on the present pain of their misjudgment, they stay oblivious to the universal importance of what has manifested. For the Lord is good, and his love endures forever. His faithfulness continues through all generations. Psalm 100, verse 5. The cosmic significance of your rise is beyond what they can comprehend. It's already shifting realities, already transforming lives, and soon the world will see it for what it truly is, a testament to the power of belief, persistence, and divine timing. Consider the journey of Serena Williams, who, despite facing countless critics and setbacks, became one of the greatest athletes of all time. When she first began, many doubted her potential. Now, her name is synonymous with excellence and resilience. What do you think those who doubted her early on feel like today? Her story is one of transformation, and those who underestimated her must reckon with their failure to see her greatness. Look at the story of Tina Fey, who started her career in comedy amid skepticism. Despite facing early rejection, she went on to become one of the most successful writers and producers in television. Her critics, those who dismissed her talent, had to watch as she created iconic shows like 30 Rock. How do you think they feel now, knowing they once doubted her ability to achieve greatness? Just like Fey, your rise is a testament to the power of perseverance and self-belief. Beloved chosen one, as we come to the close of this journey, remember that you haven't just changed your life, you've altered the timeline. Every step you've taken, every obstacle you've overcome, has reverberated through the very fabric of existence. You haven't simply transformed your circumstances, you've redirected the flow of your destiny. You haven't just improved your situation, you've rewritten the script, carving your own path where none existed before. I know that you can do all things. No purpose of yours can be thwarted. Job 42, verse 2. Unstoppable, undeniable, unforgettable. These aren't just words. They are the essence of your journey. You are exactly as you were always meant to be, fulfilling your divine purpose and illuminating the way for others to follow. Your rise is not just a personal triumph. It is a beacon of hope and a testament to the power of unwavering faith. Thank you so much for joining me in this space today. Your presence, your energy, and your dedication to your own growth are what make this moment meaningful. Whether or not you choose to donate via Super Thanks, I am deeply grateful for you. Every view, every like, every word of encouragement, these are the gifts that allow this journey to continue. Your support in any form is cherished and valued beyond words. As you continue your journey, may you be blessed with even greater clarity, boundless strength, and abundant success. May your path be lit with wisdom and guided by the divine. I wish you peace, prosperity, and the courage to keep reaching for the stars, knowing that you are unstoppable and destined for greatness. Blessings to you, always.